Hello YouTubers, this is Cessnaace. I've been meaning to get this video done for some time. Unfortunately, I've been very busy and also been trying to work around these problems and trying to get them sorted out. One problem is this sound problem. I know some people like Luke Morse one has said don't worry about it, and I've got other people telling me hold off buying anything else until you get your system set up properly. Problem is, I don't think these USB ports are any good, so or at least flaky. So one of the things I'm going to try is to use my SingStar mics, which have a standard 1/8 of an inch mini plug, and plug them in to that port on the front of the computer, and use one of my mic stands, which I bought back in the day when I was working in television. They only had a couple of mic stands and they were in really bad shape, and I was ashamed or embarrassed to even use them. So I went out and bought my own, kept them in the trunk of my car, and when I needed them, when we were having a band or something come in, I would dig out my own stands. Anyway, trying to get the sound worked out, and Luke Morse One had asked some time ago to see my collections. He was particularly interested in my video game collection and my Laserdisc collection. Unfortunately, I collect over 50 things, and they're spread out all over the house. Now, my wife went out and bought two more 8-foot tall bookcases. We already had two on that wall. We pulled them apart and put two more in there, so there are 4 against that wall. And then I've got several boxes for systems back there: Atari Jaguar, Atari Lynx, Sega Master System, NES, Commodore 64, GameCube, Wii, Saturn, and box for a Sega Nomad. Actually has this Sega Nomad in it. And some other things, like a system that a friend of mine, Super Dan 88, had done a video on some time ago, a long time ago. It's a clone of the Wii. Looks like a Wii, and it plays like a Wii, except it's not a Wii. Has, if I remember correctly, 50 built-in games. But the neat thing is you turn it upside down, and there's a cartridge port back there, or under there. Take off the door, hiding the slot. And there's a Famicom cartridge slot there. But unfortunately, I have no way to display PAL, and I need a step-down converter to go from 220 volts to 110 volts. But once I get that straightened out, then we'll be good to go. Also, a coworker of my wife's donated a 31-inch CRT. We had a 27-inch in the living room, so we moved that to the bedroom and put the 31-inch in the living room, and took the 25-inch that was in there and gave it to a sister-in-law, and then we put a 27-inch in the office. It's actually supposed to be a third bedroom, but it's too small to be used as bedroom, and I have a lot of my collections, portions of them anyway, in there, and I'm setting up another gaming rig in there. In the meantime, I dug this out. Many of you may remember that sometime back I sent Gamer Jitsu a 6-switch Woody VCS. This is the 4-switch, obviously. Although it does have the other 2 switches, they just moved them to the back. Also in the back are the controller ports, which seems weird, I know, but that's what they did. I've got quite a few games for the VCS that I've ordered that are coming. I've also got another Sega Master System game coming. So there is gaming goodness coming. Now, first off, the DVDs that I picked up from Warner Archive. This first one, I've been trying to find this movie for a long time, and I didn't even know the particulars about it, except for I knew it dramatized the Jack the Ripper killings, and that it was British, and it had Michael Caine in the cast. Other than that, I didn't know anything about it because I'd only seen about 5 minutes of it when I was at my parents' house, and I've never been able to find it on a home video in any format. It is now available from Warner Archive onto DVDs because it was originally a two-part miniseries produced for Thames Television. Jack the Ripper. Also featured in the cast is Armand Assante, who gives a very powerful performance as another Scotland Yard inspector working on the case, along with Michael Caine, who's chief inspector. 2 DVDs. The picture quality is excellent. Sound quality is very good. And I highly recommend this. There's another movie that was made for television, an American movie, called The Legend of Lizzie Borden, which I've been looking for forever on home video. It starred Elizabeth Montgomery, who was actually a descendant of the Lizzie Borden family, and that film, like this film, comes down on who they think did it. Next up, this is a movie that was a pilot for a proposed television series by Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry that did not sell. Genesis 2. The first line spoken by the main character in voiceover: "My name is Dylan Hunt. My story begins the day on which I died." Written and produced by Gene Roddenberry. This also features Mary Hartley, Ted Cassidy, who played Lurch on the Addams Family, but he also was in an episode of Star Trek, the original Star Trek, as was Mary Hartley. And this was produced by Norway Productions, which also produced the original Star Trek series, if you ever watched the end credits of that. Now, this follows Hunt, played by Alex Cord, who awakes after 154 years of suspended animation into a post-apocalyptic world that's torn between the peace-loving citizens of Pax and the militaristic mutant Tyranians. Both want Hunt to join their cause, but the Tyranians have 2 cruel weapons to persuade Hunt: a device of torture called a stem, and an alluring mutant, Mary Hartley, with 2 navels and 1 ice-cold heart. There are also some appearances in here that aren't credited, at least in the opening credits, and hey, one of them is Majel Barrett Roddenberry, who has a part in this, as well as can't remember his name. I think he's a German actor. Not he was Austrian, but he's most remembered for co-starring in Hogan's Heroes. He was General Bowcoulter. He has a part in here. Now, there was a follow-up film made for television, which I haven't watched yet, called Planet Earth. This time, John Saxon plays the character of Dylan Hunt. A handsome, vigorous 20th century scientist awakens from suspended animation, just the breeder, a Confederacy dominatrix, played by Deanna Mulder, who played 2 different characters on the original Star Trek series, and she was also Kate Pulaski, Dr. Pulaski on Star Trek The Next Generation. Anyway, she's in this. She has been waiting for him so that she could use him as a breeder. In the sequel to Genesis 2, Gene Roddenberry puts a reverse spin on women's lib into an action-filled tale set in the gleaming world of futuristic cities, underground shuttles, palm-sized computers, and skin-tight uniforms. Can Hunt defy the Confederacy and free his downtrodden fellow males, or is he doomed to slavery on planet Earth? Story by Gene Roddenberry, written by Gene Roddenberry and Juanita Bartlett, and produced by Robert H. Justman, who was also one of the producers that worked on the original Star Trek, and also for a time on Star Trek The Next Generation. Need to get around to watching that. How's my time? Running low. This is a movie I have on VHS, and for the life of me, I can't understand why it has not been officially released on DVD, at least in the U.S. This is from Warner Archive. Zeppelin. This stars Michael York, Elkie Summer, Rupert Davis, Alexandria Stewart, Peter Karsten, so forth and so on. Okay, went by the dollar store. Actually, it was Dollar Tree. Picked up a number of DVDs. These were all $1 each, obviously. Michael Jackson, His Story. Released by Echo Bridge. Michael Jackson, Life of a Superstar. From Echo Bridge. And What Killed the King of Pop? This is also from Echo Bridge. All the rest are from Broadpoint, which is another budget label. The Fall Before Paradise. Don't know if you can see through the cellophane wrap there. Insomnia Manica. The Land of College Prophets. My Wife and My Dead Wife. Rapid Eye Movement. Salvation. Vigilantes. Without Light. And Delirium. The Lucky One Dies First. They have written there. Okay. Until next time, stay awesome.